think it's very important to have somebody behind you with a full understanding of employment law on an everyday basis, and be able to just pick up the phone and talk to them before you act, you know. So and that has helped us tremendous. And we've used citation many times since then, just on employment, just to check we're acting correctly and not opening a can of worms for ourselves.
We had another company that was doing our policies and procedures. We had what we called a carer handbook. When we had the inspection, they weren't very happy with it. They didn't feel our policies were deep enough, or there wasn't enough information in them, and that they just weren't adequate, and that was one of our rooms for improvement. So again, with citation, initially we didn't have the policy, we didn't have the health and safety platform, but it was only following, it developed into there and getting the policies and procedures. But they've been an absolute godsend to us. We like the fact that they're all written out and you just have to fill in the gaps for your own, and there's an index there, you know, and you get the amendments or updates automatically. I get an email directly from, please put these into your policies and procedures, just go straight in there, it's updated. So that gives me peace of mind knowing if they came in, yes, our policies and procedures are up to date.
I found it to be very thorough, probably one of the best ones we've ever had. Slightly annoying when I got it, because they found a lot of minor problems that needed addressing, and quite quickly, but definitely very supportive again, and we did address everything, and it was a very good inspection. The fire inspection was similar, again very thorough. They found things within the building on the inspection that have needed addressing that I've got to say the fire authorities in 20 years of inspecting the building haven't picked up on, and obviously when we've had audits before and inspections, they've not picked up on certain areas that they did. I was sort of quite flabbergasted when they were picking on it, and on a financial front we're thinking, oh no, what are you picking on this for? But you know, definite benefit. I think moving to citation was a big player in us managing to achieve such a dramatic growth back to good across the board. I don't think we'd have achieved it as quick without citation. We would have achieved it because as a company we've always maintained to be at least at good level, but with the changes in HR law and a few other things, we just hadn't kept our finger on the pulse through different personal reasons within the company, and citation definitely helped me push along very quickly and support the staff to understand where we were going and why we were doing it.
Overall, it's made a massive difference in, you know, that there's a training matrix on there. I can press a button and CQC can come in and see it's all there. It shows me where the gaps are. It gives me an alert where the training is. So as the training manager, you know, that's invaluable. And as far as the HR go, that's invaluable for me for when we've got some staffing issues. It all seems to fall into one another, you know, it's like a team really, you know, and it's all condensed, and it's easy to access the documents, and it is like just a drop-in box, you know, you don't need to like go researching or anything because you know where it is. It does, yeah, because it's good networking as well, you know, and, you know, in your resource library as well, you know, there's so many links to different things, and if I'm looking for things, or, you know, whether it's regardless to training or employment, you know, there are so many links in there of people you can follow. And obviously we use Lancashire Care for a lot of things. They do our DBSs, and, you know, we have a close working relationship with LCA. So to know that somebody else has got that link as well, and we're like a small team, really, it's nice.
I would definitely recommend you. The obvious reasons, you know, we've felt very supported by citation in the 18 months we've been with you. We've benefited from working with you, as the CQC standing obviously is justification to prove that.
If we stopped using citation tomorrow, it would be a disaster. It's like having a whole team, but we don't pay them to be here all the time.
Probably the parts of HR that are the most difficult for us to deal with are disciplinaries, and it's very useful that Citation have templates for us that we can send out and we can get advice over the phone specific to care homes and the problems that we encounter. It gives us great peace of mind that they have in-house specialists. It's very relevant to the workplace that we're in, and the knowledge that they bring is extremely helpful.
Right from when you first call, they're quick to answer, they're quick to help you. They also follow up anything that they've said with emails, with any templates that you need.
It gives us great peace of mind knowing that they're partnered with Care England, because those are the kind of companies and the kind of organisations that we have to deal with. We've used them for instances where people haven't been adhering correctly to the handbook that we provide, and we've rung them for advice as to dealing with that and the process of going through the disciplinary procedure from start to finish.
So we got ISO certified with Citation. We chose them because we didn't know what to do. We know that they're a standard and we know that we should adhere to them, but to implement it is actually massive. They directed us to QMS, and through QMS we do all of our ISOs. We are constantly monitored, so we know that our quality is going to be standard. We know that we've put it in place correctly and that we're continuing to adhere to that standard. The gap analysis was really good. Our auditor did work very efficiently. They were all nice, they were all knowledgeable. Having the certification has helped us. We know that we weren't doing as much as we could. Our quality management system that we inherited is very difficult to manage, and it's very difficult to update, and it's been very difficult to audit. So we're doing a new quality management system surrounded by those ISOs, but we couldn't do that if we hadn't been assessed and certificated by Citation. Now, I would recommend Citation because their knowledge is invaluable, their help is really good, they do keep us on track, and they do check up on us to make sure we've adhered to what we should do.
They are making life easier and giving us the reassurance that there is somebody at the other end of the phone that can answer questions that we need answering.
For me, I only do business with people I like. And what I've liked about Citation from the first time I met Rosie at the Care Association Alliance was that I felt you were a company that cared about people, and you cared about us, and you cared about our business. There are so many areas of new regulations coming in all the time that it's really helpful to have a specialist organisation on board that you have confidence in, that they're going to let you know what you've got to do and when you've got to do it. What we really like is that as soon as we have anything we want to discuss about staff, we ring Citation. And I love it, the first thing they ask us is that they say, what outcome do you want? And the outcome we nearly always want is good relationships with our staff. And they work with us to get that. On one occasion I did ring up and I said, I don't think this member of staff is going to change. We employed her, but her twin sister turned up. We need to really terminate this person. And they said, okay, we'll send you a letter. And sure enough, the way they handled it ended up with this person leaving, but we are on good terms. Now, I think that's a real result, that you can actually terminate a person from your employment but leave on good terms. We started using CQC Pro since our last inspection. But what I liked about it when I first looked into it is that they identify obviously all of the key lines of inquiry and the subdivisions of that. But then you can go into your resources, and for each subdivision of the key line of inquiry, you've got all the resources that you need there at your fingertips from Citation. And they also give you templates and ideas on how to get started on a question. So sometimes, your mind just blanks on these forms, and Citation would just give you that little prompt to actually get going, and then you're away. I would recommend Citation because I have looked into a number of other organisations who seem to have this view that the owners and employees are always at odds with each other, and one of them is the enemy to the other. And I don't work like that. We are a team, and I think you see that just as well as I do. And when we ring you up, Your whole attitude is, how can we work with you to make the team better? If I had to sum up Citation in one sentence, it would be that you are a company that cares about us and cares about our business.